What's going on, everybody? Want to show you something here at a home inspection I'm at currently. One thing you'll hear home inspectors talk a lot about, probably more than any other person in the real estate industry, is flippers. So a flipper, or house flipped, or this house was flipped, or he works for a company that flips houses, something along those lines. So this house we're in currently would qualify. What that means, sometimes it doesn't mean much. Other times it means a lot. And let me show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, so when we talk about flipped houses, generally that means lots of cosmetic changes, or maybe some cosmetic changes: new carpet, new paint, maybe new baseboards, new doors on the interior, new tile, sometimes flooring. You get the idea. But usually the skeleton and the organs, if you will, of the home, the major systems like your heater, your AC, maybe your water heater, the structure itself, they're all pretty much the same as they were prior to being repainted and recovered with new flooring and stuff like that. Obviously, you could get into why that's a great deal for somebody buying a home to purchase it knowing those things, and just knowing they've got to put paint and carpet in it as opposed to replacing every major system. But I'm not really about that, because I'm not here to sell you a house or encourage you to buy a house. Obviously, I'm just here to tell you about home inspections. So why that matters with this home, obviously you can see you've got original floors, or at least older wood floors, maybe not original, but they're older anyway. Lots of new paint, some new doors on the interior, new carpet. The windows are obviously original from the 50s. So they look pretty terrible and don't work right. But there's new floor coverings, new tile in the bathrooms. Where there's not new stuff is this furnace. And this is exactly how I found this furnace. Okay, I didn't touch a thing. So you can see the cover's missing. There's the cover right there. It's not plugged into power, so it's not going to function anyway. We don't plug in components like appliances or fixtures, or in this case a furnace or an AC or a water heater. We don't plug those in or turn on breakers, just because we don't know what reason it may be unplugged or may be turned off. Maybe there's no reason at all, or maybe there's a life safety reason it's turned off, and I don't know that. I don't own this house, so I'm not going to turn that on, and I'm not going to risk my life for a home inspection. And I wouldn't risk your life if you're here buying this house and you're alongside me during this inspection. I'm not going to risk your life either. It's just common sense. So I don't know if this furnace works. I mean, it's in really rough shape, obviously. It's a 2002 model, so that's not the end of the world, but it's 19 years old. And that's older for a furnace. But it's not plugged in, so I can't test it anyway. You look at the other side, you've got a water heater. This water heater, it's got a bunch of paint on it, but it looks like maybe it's a 2004 model. But anyway, you can see this is an electric model. It's got two elements, one on the top, one on the bottom. I've gone over that in other videos and blog posts on the website at length, due to my own home having electric water heaters. But you can see this one's been improperly modified for some reason. I have no idea why. Maybe just to make it work where it wasn't working. It's got some staining up here from rust. It's got some staining down there from rust, and just a little bit of moisture there, so it's already leaking. And you can see this closet ceiling is just in terrible condition. I mean, it looks like they had a battle in here or something. So it's in terrible shape. So these are two of the more important parts of any home. Is your heater, your heat source, and then your water heater, your water heating source. And both of them are in pretty rough shape. The closet they're in is in terrible shape. Another thing I'll show you about home inspections, we've talked a little bit about it before in other videos, but this is the only attic access in the home right here. So in order for me to even get up in there, I would somehow have to balance myself on my ladder without leaning it on the water heater or leaning it on the furnace. And then somehow balance in order to get up in this attic, and that's just not happening. I'm not going to fall. I'm not going to damage. Obviously, these are in terrible condition anyway, but they don't belong to me, and I'm not going to risk damaging them, or damaging plumbing lines, or damaging the vent from the furnace. etc., etc., just for a home inspection. So that's where the seller has lots of responsibility to prepare for a home inspection. I know that's probably not talked about a lot, especially with realtors, just because agents don't want to discourage you from selling your home for obvious reasons. You know, they want to try to help you sell it. They're not trying to discourage you from selling it. But I'll be the bad guy in this situation, and I know Adrian will too. And that, you know, the seller has responsibility here. They have responsibility to make this house ready for inspection. This home is not ready. This furnace is not ready to operate by anybody. The water heater is in terrible condition. I mean, it does still work, but the closet itself, the attic's not accessible. If during the remodel process, the flip process, this attic could have been moved somewhere else where it was easily accessible in a hallway or a bedroom, a closet, something else. Other than this location, this is a terrible location. So that's where the seller has some responsibility, and that's what we like to encourage on our end. And the reason we like to encourage it is because if I hold that expectation for a home seller, and maybe another home inspector somewhere or another inspection company somewhere holds that expectation, eventually we'll get to better quality homes for everybody. Everybody can anticipate purchasing a better quality home in West Texas, because oftentimes the homes that are for sale are not better quality. They're terrible. And this is one of those situations where very little effort was put into making this home ready for inspection, ready for sale, more importantly. So it's just basically here, you know, and it is what it is. And this buyer, unfortunately, is going to be paying for a home inspection that won't have any information about the furnace. And since I can't run the furnace, I can't run the air conditioner. And obviously I can't get in the attic. So those are three big ones right there. That this customer's going to pay for, because it's not my fault it's not ready, but it's also not his fault or her fault it's not ready. And it's not their agent's fault it's not ready. It's really the responsibility of the homeowner to make these homes ready for inspection, ready for sale. I really don't know why you wouldn't want to do that. I know most of us, my age and older especially, we were raised that if you're selling something, you do everything you can to make it as ready and presentable as possible. And oftentimes, especially these days, with the market the way it is, that's just not the case. That's not what people are doing. People are going out of their way, it seems like, to make it not ready for inspection, not ready to sell, just because either they don't care, or they don't have to, maybe. I don't know. But that's my rant for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You see a little snapshot into what we do each day. But again, that's why we do what we do. Adrian and I both have this standard. Obviously it's a company standard where we don't plug in appliances to make them ready to inspect. We're not going to turn on breakers. We're not going to turn on gas valves. We're not going to light pilot lights, all that stuff, because we don't want to die. And we don't want you to die either if you're here with us during the home inspection, and we don't want to burn the house down during the home inspection or cause some other sort of damage, because that's not what we're here. This home doesn't belong to us. If you're the home buyer, it doesn't belong to you yet either. It belongs to this homeowner. They should have had it ready. I agree, it sucks, but they didn't. And that's the way it is. Anyway, that's a window and a snapshot into home inspection daily life, especially these days during COVID when the market's been so hot. You know, we get a lot of inspections like this. So I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have questions, comments, concerns, hit us up on the comment section. Shoot me an email. Give us a call. Thanks.